Welcome to GameTout, the show where I tell about video game topics that you want to know. And today, I'm MBW, the Megabit Warrior, and today we are going to be talking about everybody's favorite pink cloud, Kirby. And there was just a Nintendo Direct that just came out maybe 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago for the game that's going to be coming out for the Switch 2 called Kirby Air Riders. And it's basically a sequel to the GameCube version of a similar name of Kirby's Air Ride. And I've never personally played that game that came on the GameCube, but I heard a lot of good things, and just the sheer amount of creativity that was coming out of this Direct, I kind of just wanted to utilize this GameTout to kind of just talk Kirby and talk about the history of like how Kirby was, and like just the kind of uniqueness that comes out of Kirby. So that's what we're going to do today. So let me go ahead and ploop, and just have the Direct going in the background while we're talking about the uniqueness of Kirby. So again, if you guys are new to GameTout, I just wanted to say this is kind of like a very, sometimes I'll do news and sometimes I do like more like a podcast type. This today episode is going to be more of a podcast type, so we're going to kind of just talk through things. So Kirby has been around for a very long time. I want to say the first game came out, Kirby's Dream Land, in I want to say it was like 91. It came out very close to like when the Game Boy first came out, and it was insanely good. It was a good game, but when it finally got to Kirby's Adventure, that is when it was like, oh, he can do copy abilities, and like the gameplay just kind of just expanded from there. And if you look at Kirby's design, it's a very simple design. He's basically like a little cloud. He's like a little ball with like 2 feet, and he's pink. At the time, like it was, Game Boy, so like there wasn't really any color. So I want to say even in the box art, he was like white. I don't know why I'm all itchy. Yeah, he was all like white. But they later made him into like the character that you see now. And so the guy that you see on the screen right here, he is one of the creators of Kirby, and he's insanely in love with that character, and I'm glad that he's making another go around on it, because I know he was part of. What's the company that makes it? Like Howl? Like I think like that company kind of does that. That's why like Kirby's very pronounced in Super Smash Brothers, because he's the creator of Super Smash Brothers, if you guys don't know that. But what's interesting about Kirby is while the baseline like gameplay of Kirby is very platformer, like you copy abilities, you kind of go through levels. It's like a very easy type game. A lot of people would say it's kiddish, just because of like how accessible it is, how easy it is to play and figure things out. It's not really too complicated. But the main mechanic that you do is that you suck up characters and you can copy their abilities, kind of like a Mega Man, except you can kind of do it like in a faster motion because you're doing it with enemies as opposed to like bosses and stuff like that. So, why this topic about the uniqueness of Kirby? Well, Kirby in particular is kind of like Mario, where they put him on such random ideas, right? Like you wouldn't necessarily see like, oh yeah, we're gonna have Zelda racing. Oh yeah, we're gonna have Metroid uh, I don't know. You don't typically see it. You'll see it sometimes. Like yeah, like oh yeah, like Metroid has a pinball game, right? But you don't necessarily see it. It's not really like a big push on like this character. This character has a lot of stuff. I actually made a top 10 video back in like 2010 of top 10 unique Kirby games. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of just show really quick. Zoom in so you guys can see this. Zoom in. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at some of the games. So like the main line games, Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby's Adventure, Dreamland 2, Superstar was still my favorite all-time Kirby game of all time. Kirby's Dream Land 3, I've actually never played that. Maybe I'll do that on a stream or something like that because I know it is on the Switch library. Kirby 64, The Amazing Mirror, et cetera, et cetera. There's like so many cool Kirby games, right? But they're very like mainline ones. But we have this section right here that says that like it's more of a spin-off, where we basically have, hey, because he's a ball, let's go ahead and put him in Kirby's Pinball Land, and kind of same thing. Like he kind of can do like copy abilities, can kind of do different types of things. Like it still has like the Kirby flavor of it. And it's cool because it's like, oh yeah, he could turn him into a ball. In which there's a game right here called Kirby's Block Ball. This is actually one of my all-time favorite Kirby games. Nobody talks about this game, but I thought it was so unique in just the way that people play it. Like, let me see. I think I have in particular. Where is it? Yep. I just want to show you some gameplay of it really quick. So check this out. Basically, you're basically playing, what is it called? A Breakout? But it's Kirby related. So right now he just picked up a, so that when you press that, you can get bonuses and stuff like that. So there's like different things that you can do. And he just picked up the item for Spike. So like in the normal Kirby games, you can basically get that needle or whatever it's called. What's kind of cool on there is if you spike it when it's near the paddle, you can go ahead and try to shoot again, right? But yeah, it's basically like you can get powers, and it's basically Breakout though. Like it's just clear all the things, but there's bad guys. There's like little bonuses. Go ahead and jump around a little bit. Like look at this. I think that was a boss fight. Yeah. So this boss fight right here. I think that's a bonus. Oh yeah, right here. Cool. So right here you have to kill them, but like when they hit the paddle, look at how small the paddle is. It's just like super unique, right? Like it's like this is freaking awesome. I played this game so much as a kid, and it was just because I was just like to me it was just like I was thinking of design wise, like I played Breakout and I played various types of Breakout games, and I never saw one that was, like as had these kind of gameplay elements mixed in with it, and I thought that was pretty cool. I basically say that because as we look through that list, we have Kirby's Dream Course, where basically it's golf. Hey, look, Kirby's a ball again. Let's go ahead and play golf. And it's a freaking fun game with, again, elements of Kirby. It's bad guys. It's like it's very cute, charming, easy to pick up. Yeah, Slacker, Tilt and Tumble. Tilt and Tumble was one of the ones where it's like motion control. So you're basically a ball and you're basically tilting your Kirby around, and that's how you utilize the gameplay. Air Ride was it's racing portion of it. Again, I personally never played it, but looking at this new trailer of this new game, I could see why people really like the game, and it's freaking amazing, right? But it's basically like, yeah, of course it's a racing game. It's in the same genre of like Mario Kart and stuff like that. However, it has that uniqueness to it of like, well, what can Kirby bring into it? And I love the fact that they bring in the Kirby-ness into these types of games. Canvas Curse, this was basically you would draw on the screen, and as a ball, like, you would have to like navigate the ball everywhere. Kirby's Epic Yarn. This is the one where very like Woolly World, the people that made Woolly World, all the Yoshis in general. This unique art style, Mass Attack. Like, there's so many different types of Kirby games. Aha, Kirby Air Riders. Is that really the art for it? If it is, it doesn't actually look very good. Do better. Anyways. But yeah. Let's go ahead and go back to this direct. So yeah. As I was watching this direct, it was really just coming into my head of just like, I love the passion that this man has for the games that he makes. When Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was released, and even all the other ones, but in particular, let's talk about Ultimate, because Ultimate was Ultimate, right? When the game was coming out, he was like showing like how much features was in the game, and like as you're playing it, man, even the 64 version, I remember going through and just seeing how many game modes there were, and like the stats that you would do. You'd be like, oh my god, I've been playing as Link the most, and it's this many hours, and this gameplay data, and this and that. Like, he always thinks as a gamer of just like, this is the stuff that like I would want to know, and like, oh, this is what I would want to play, what kind of unique things I want to do. Yeah, I want to hit a sandbag across the way, and I feel like that love and that passion is very much missing in the corporate world of video gaming, right? Like, back in the day, it used to be such a smaller team of people. It used to be, that like the people that actually are making the game and wanting to experiment and stuff like that, they actually had a lot of say into like what is actually coming into the games. Whereas nowadays, like, everything's so corporate and so big that like, you could just look at the credits, right? Look at the credits of like, a Zelda game or a Metroid or something like that. Like, there are hundreds and hundreds of people that make the game. So if there's like somebody on the lower of the totem pole that's just working on like just the gameplay design and stuff like that, like, they don't have as much say as they were to if they were in the Super Nintendo or Nintendo days, right? Because I was like a team of 30, right? So unfortunately, some of the voices get kind of drowned out by the executives. The executives are like, oh, I want this or I want that. So it's refreshing to see like it's just showing it on the screen right here. Like on the right side, look at the detail of like things that like you would want to know about your, like your vehicles. Machine is what they call it here. And like Mario Kart, while I love Mario Kart, it's very like, they do keep it very bare bones of like, oh, we're going to keep it this way because we want it to be accessible and stuff like that. Whereas this game feels more like gamers are really going to like it. Like they're doing it, they're making it for the gamer in mind, instead of it being like, oh, well, grandma can pick it up and do this. And so she may not understand if there's too many menus. So let's cut things out. And yeah, maybe we could have another battle type, but like, we're not going to do that because we want it to be more accessible. Right. But like, to me, it's like you limit yourself. Like, it's just like I always think of like there's a lot of these games that come out that have a lot to be desired. Like there's potential. Like I'll play it and I'll be like, oh man, there's so much potential in this area. I really wish that they would have expanded in it. And it's like they didn't because they were like, oh, they weren't thinking of the gamer in mind. Mario is a really big one for that. Like if you ever play like any of the new Mario games, especially the new series, new Super Mario Brothers Wii and new Super Mario Brothers U, all those, while they're really good games, I really do feel like some of the stuff was very untapped. Like Wonder, for example, there was such untapped potential in some of the things that they were doing that it was just like, why don't they expand on some of these ideas? And it's really just because it's like, well, they don't want it to be too complicated. But it's like, when are you going to make stuff for the gamers, right? Whereas I feel Kirby has always been like, yes, it's accessible. However, they do actually, like, I feel, take risks. And they like do different types of genres and I don't know, like it's just like it feels like they can mess around a little bit more. Now that's not true with every Kirby game. I actually think the spin-off titles are more of the ones that are more creative. Sometimes on the main Kirby line, I feel like ever since like Superstar, like they really haven't tried to reimagine Kirby as far as platforming until the Forgotten Land. But Forgotten Land, I feel like it's like its own genre because it's like 3D, right? It's not in the 2D form. But I don't know. So I feel like sometimes they play it too safe in that realm, but whenever they do the spin-off types of Kirby games, like, I don't know, I always feel like it just has like a different feel. But that versus what we're seeing right here, now this game in particular, he is insane with making games. So like, no matter what game he's making, like this isn't just a Kirby thing. Like he made this game specifically to have all the bells and whistles. You can definitely tell by the look and feel too of it that it feels very Super Smash Brothers. Like even the menus and stuff like that, like the way that things like pop out and like it's like it's definitely has a lots of Super Smash Brother elements in it. Especially like the multiple game types, all the different modes and stuff like that. Like I know that that they were showing on here like the city, was that City Trials, I think it was called. That's very, very Super Smash Brothers, the way that everything was kind of looking and feeling and stuff like that. And I don't mind it. I'm here for it. Like I'm here for him to mix everything together, and it's just awesome. Like, I feel like even just like looking at this gameplay right here that he's playing right here, everything feels so freaking chaotic. Like, and Smash Brothers is basically the same thing. It's so chaotic. There's like when you throw different Pokeballs or like assist trophies and stuff like that, and there's just like, you know, 4 people on the screen fighting at the same time, but like everybody has a different item. Like it's always a different. It's always different to play it. Like, it feels like it's not the same battle every single time you play, unless you're playing with no items. But again, same thing here. He has the rule sets where you can like turn them off, turn it on. So like you can play how you want to play. And whereas like Mario Kart, there's no way that you can turn off the blue shell. Like, sometimes I just want to play and not be Mario Karted. It's like I like the design for that game specifically is like, I want to make sure that the races is close, so a beginner person could potentially be an expert person, depending if they get Mario Karted and get like, you know, shelled to death, right? Like, that's the way that they designed the game. Whereas this is like, I feel like it's more gamerish. Like, that's the sense I got from the trailer, which is pretty cool. So I'm personally excited for Kirby Air Riders. I'm not like that big on racing games. So when it was announced, I was like, oh, well, I'm interested because Sakurai is making it. But once I saw the trailer, I was like, you know, there's a lot of effort that went into this. And because of the effort alone, like, I'm going to try it. It just makes me feel like I love when companies do, you know, they get a genre, which again, this is like a Mario Kart genre, right? And they make it their own. They make it have its own unique spin. And then it becomes its own separate special thing. Diddy Kong Racing, for example. Yes, Mario Kart 64 was such a good game. When it came out, it was like, oh man, like, okay, I really like Mario, you know, Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, but Mario Kart 64, that's on a whole different level. It was amazing, right? But then Diddy Kong Racing came in, and it was like, it's going to try to be Mario Kart, and it didn't try to be Mario Kart. Yes, it had the same elements that you like get balloons and you get power-ups so that you can fight people and stuff like that. But they made it into like an adventure game. Like, it was like you would go to these levels so that you can unlock other levels. So it was very like kind of like Super Mario 64, where, you know, you collect stars in order to open doors to the new worlds, and, you know, and it just keeps on expanding that way. And they did it that way, where it's like you didn't have access to all the levels. You would actually have to play the levels, master the levels, and then things would unlock. And then you have a boss battle. You would, you know, you have some like time trials. Of course, they do like the mirror mode, but like everything's harder. And one of my favorites is the silver coins. I think they were called the silver coins. They would have like 6 or 7 like silver coins hidden in the tracks. And not only did you have to get every single one of the coins, but you had to complete the level in first place. That type of thing like just screamed to me that this is for gamers. Like, this is like awesome. And again, it was unique. It didn't follow the normal Mario Kart where it's just like, yeah, we're doing tracks and you get to pick the cup and then you just play. Like, it wasn't that, right? That's why Diddy Kong Racing is highly regarded, in my opinion. And well, at least in my opinion, Diddy Kong Racing in many ways was levels up from Mario Kart. If it wasn't for like just the tracks in general and the polishedness that Nintendo does on their games, like I would say it's a for sure winner. But each game like had its pros and cons on the 64. I would love to see another Diddy Kong Racing, but as you know, Rare no longer is Rare. They got bought by Microsoft, and yeah, they're not the same company anymore, because I don't know if any of their original employees work there anymore. So it's just a shell of a company now. Yeah, so that just made me sad. We just got into a Rare talk, but let's go ahead and pivot back to Kirby. So Kirby, watching this direct brings me hope that like this mentality that we had back in the 64 era, even the Game Boy Advanced, where there was a lot of risk. There was a lot of, hey, let's try to make this game. It's a weird idea, but let's try it. We don't see that too often anymore. And I don't know if that was something that just kind of went away after like Iwata passed away. Like, of course, like there were games in flight, so we did see those games for at least the next 4 years and stuff like that. But I really feel like there hasn't been an insane amount of games that like have been allowed to kind of just mess around and like be kind of under the radar of, you know, of the management, like not having the management dictate everything. Going off on another tangent, Majora's Mask, right? Majora's Mask, freaking amazing game. Everybody says like how crazy the gameplay element is of like the 3-day cycle and just everything that was layered in that game. Like everybody, the whole game seems alive because everybody's doing something on a certain particular time, and there's so many side quests that you can do, like, but you have to do them at certain times of the 3-day cycle. The moon's falling, just all chaotic. It's like so dark. It's like, it's so not Zelda like, right? Like it's Zelda, but like it's just like, what is this story? Like what, like they would never have that type of story in a Zelda game. But if you ever see the history of that game, it was like they begged Miyamoto, like, can we make this game? And he was like kind of like against it. Like he was like, no. And then finally it was just like, well, then you just have a year to do it. And they wanted to do their own thing, and they wanted to take that risk, and they wanted to do all the stuff, and like it was cool that they were allowed to do it, because then it came out to be such a good game. Crazy that it got developed in 1 year. Like 1 year to make that great of a game, like insane. I don't see that anymore nowadays. I feel like it's overproduced sometimes in a lot of games. I feel like some people within Nintendo have that luxury, like Sakurai being one of them. I'm glad that he can take these risks, and I'm glad that, like, well, yes, they may have told him, hey, we want you to make a Kirby's Air Ride. You damn know well that it was his idea to do all of the things that are in here, because it's like, he's like, yeah, if I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And like, they're not there to really dictate him, which is freaking awesome. I also know the what's his name, Aonuma, creator of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Like, him and his team are very well trusted. And like, you know what? You create fantastic ideas. That's what we're going to bank on. Go ahead and do your thing, right? But then you look at games like, like the Paper Marios, and that one just made me sigh. So let me just say that with Paper Mario. So Paper Mario, such a cool concept. The games were fantastic, part 1 and part 2. I even still think the risk of making the Super Paper Mario in a different time of format, that game was good in my opinion. I was like, I really like Super Paper Mario. Wasn't as good as the other ones, but like those 3 games were amazing. But then I could feel that it's overproduced now. It's like almost like they focus on like, well, we need this gimmick. And I don't care if we lose the Paper Mario element in it, as long as you do this gimmick. And I felt like a lot of games sometimes fell into a horrible loop when you force a gimmick on it. Like even Breath of the Wild. Like it's like, yes, they were making the game, but then Miyamoto's like, oh yeah, I really want this motion control in it. So they like had to put some motion control stuff in it. Like it's the reason why Skyward Sword wasn't that good, right? It's because they are forced to add these elements that like don't make it good, right? Like, yes, if you're going to add motion control, the sword stuff was freaking awesome. Okay, like I like that on Skyward Sword. Cool, keep that. But when it's unnecessary, like flying a bird and you want to flap your wings and stuff like that, like it's like, no, you're taking away from the gameplay element. You're not thinking in terms of gamers. You're just thinking in terms of like, look what I can do. Whereas this, what I'm looking at right here, I really feel like this is like, how would gamers play? Like, look at that, like going like in those portals and stuff like that. Freaking awesome. Like, this is not something that like the higher up is going to be like, yes, I want this to happen and stuff like that. That is definitely not what's happening here. This is definitely like, as a gamer, as somebody that's playing the game, and I think that's the reason why it shows him playing the game. He's playing the game and talking about how much he loves it. Yes, people can look at it as like, oh, they're tooting their own horn. Of course, he's gonna say, I'm loving it, and blah blah blah. But no, he's doing it in a way because he's saying to everybody, I love the concept. I love what I'm doing here. And you can tell that when he play tests and when he like plays through it, he thinks of different ideas of like, well, what if I add this? Because I think as a gamer, I would like this, to happen and stuff like that. Like instead of it just being like, oh, it's on the whiteboard because, executive 1 and 2 said to put it in. So we need to somehow put put this in. It's like I feel like he doesn't do that. At least that's the impression that I see from it. Like I don't feel it from this. Even the direct was more his style. He has his own YouTube, which I caught one time. I didn't even know that he was making it. I found out about it when he was doing his farewell from his YouTube. But anyways, he has this entire series that I still one day need to like watch every single thing through. I watched like a couple of them, but he has this like entire series where he just talks about game development. And he talks about like the in-depths of like how his brain works and like, hey, if I have an idea or if you have an idea, this is the way that you should structure and this is like how you would do these things. Think of when you have like, this characters, like think of these as your possibilities when you're trying to write for it, or like just different game design, like tutorials, like teachings, like it's kind of like kind of going through a lecture, and he's like just teaching you about it. He doesn't need to do that. He's a freaking game developer, like a massively popular one, and he was doing that because like what his mission was to like give back and have people love what they do when they get into game development. Like when you get into game development, you're designing games, you want to love what you're doing. I feel like he loves what he's doing. Sometimes a little too much. I don't know if you guys know that story of that he works so hard that sometimes he ignores his health, and I think he fainted or he passed out. So something happened where it was like, oh, he didn't get any sleep, and this and this and that. But it was self-inflicted. That's what they say, at least. That's at least what they say. And everybody was like, okay, like we love Super Smash Bros., but like your health is more priority. Like I like that people said that, because like sometimes people need to hear that. But what I was trying to say with all that said is that he has a passion for what he does. He absolutely loves making games and making people have different variety of playing it, to make just people happy. And it's something that I kind of live by. Like when I made my game and when I make my videos on YouTube, which you subscribe and like, by the way. But when I make stuff and when, other developers make stuff, the hope is that you're making something that you want people to enjoy. And I really feel like his games really feel that way, which is really cool. So, I know this topic kind of went everywhere. I know I kind of want to end. I wanted to end in that piece, but I do want to circle back to Kirby in general, because Kirby started off as like this little pink or white little ball that's a cloud, right, on the Game Boy and then Nintendo, the NES. And it was a very simple platformer where you basically just like suck up characters and you spit them back out, but you can float everywhere and you're kind of just going around this dreamland. Seeing how Kirby evolved and just the sheer volume of different types of games that Kirby's a part of. And again, when I play Block Ball and I play like Dream Course, I can see the uniqueness as far as like the effort that's put into it. And I really appreciate that. And I really hope that more games, and not every game has to do that. Like Zelda, you don't need to have like a Zelda pinball or something like that. Like what I'm saying is every genre should have their own uniqueness to it. The developers shouldn't try to make the same game over and over. They should try to, have an idea and like create the formula that fits in it, right? But not at the expense of just because the executive said. It needs to be passionate. It needs to be like, it can't just be, oh, the Wii came out, it has to have motion control, and then that's it. Like basically like, oh, we're forced to do motion control. They told us that 80% of the game has to be motion control, so like we have to do this. Like I hate the have to. If the game calls for it, like when you're experimenting, when you're going through it, and you have this gameplay element that you're like, this is interesting. Let's see what comes out of it. But then if you see that it's actually better with a controller, just go with the controller. Like, keep the gamer in mind. Like, make it a game that everybody wants to play. Make it something that you want to play. I hate the mentality of when they're forced to do something that you can tell they're forced with, and you could tell it because it shows it like you can feel it when you're playing the games, and you can feel it when there's like no passion in it. But then you can tell, like when you're playing Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, when you're playing Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, like games like that, like where you can tell there is passion in this game. Like, they will delay these games in order to do what their thoughts were, right? Like, it's like, I wanted to do this creative thing, and I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna, like, and you could tell that they had fun developing it, and it's just crazy. Like, look at this. Look what's happening on the screen right now. Like, what is happening? No executive would have said, I want spikes to drop from the thing and blah, blah, blah. No. This is all freaking game designer. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this because I just watching, like, just the way he's playing. It's just so hilarious. Yeah, this is definitely a person that goes, I would like to see this in a game. Like, as they're making it. And that's great. More developers, please do this. Don't just do what everybody else is doing. Don't do what like, it sucks if you are working for a company that, like, the executives say that you need to do this, but it's like, but just for the executives that like just to put it out there, like, let the designers design a game, because then games come out great. And then you get the uniqueness like Kirby does. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching another GameTout. I will see you guys later. Again, please subscribe, like, do all that stuff. It's just a lot of fun to press that like button, you know? Like, sometimes when you press like, you win $1 million. It's weird. It's just a crazy thing. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. There's a lot of content on this channel. I'm still playing Breath of the Wild and streaming Donkey Kong Bonanza. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time for another GameTout. Later.